finally our social life and work. And we tend to make the same things over and over again. So what I'm going to show you today is 3 very simple appetizers you can whip up probably in 15 to 20 minutes. These are great appetizers you can make for the holidays, you're having guests coming over, and they're going to think you're a genius, I promise. And you know, Heather, I love these napkins. Look, low maintenance is for rookies. I'm all about low maintenance. We need to get a trademark on these napkins. They're fantastic. Love it. So what we're going to start with today, we're going to make some tomato bocconcini skewers. Very, very simple. So what you do is you just put a tomato on these skewers. These skewers you can buy from the dollar store. If you can't find the smaller ones, just break them in half like I did. And we're going to take some fresh basil. Now sometimes you'll find they're kind of large at the store, so I just cut them in half. And then we're going to take some baby bocconcini. So you can get them a little bit smaller than that, and that's it. Very, very simple. I'm going to make another one for you very quickly. And then I'm going to show you the glaze. Very simple. So most of you have balsamic vinegar at home, so you don't have to run out and buy a balsamic glaze. I'm going to show you how you can make it very, very quickly. You take your balsamic vinegar and you bring it to a boil, and then you kind of reduce it for about 10 minutes till it becomes a syrupy consistency. If you want, you can add a little bit of maple syrup or agave. You just use it to taste, and that's it. So what we're going to do here, we have our appetizer here, and we're just going to do this. Doesn't that look amazing? So look at that, guys. I think you worked in a restaurant, right? It's very simple. You go and get yourself one of these squeeze bottles from the dollar store and you look like a genius. So that's appetizer 1, done. The next thing is we're going to make some roll-ups with a little bit of wasabi cream cheese, arugula, and smoked salmon. So I've got some cream cheese here. I'm going to add a little bit of milk just to thin it out so I can spread it. And then a little bit of wasabi. Again, if you don't have wasabi, you know what? You can just do your own variations. You've got some chives or you have some dill. You can just kind of make it your own, right? I like the spice with this. And then I also like the arugula. You know, arugula is also called rocket or ricola, and it's really good for you. Very high in folate, high in vitamin A, B, and C, and it's got that nice, wonderful peppery taste. Again, if you don't have arugula, try some spinach or some Boston lettuce or some watercress. So really, you can start creating your own recipes. You don't even need a recipe. All you need is inspiration. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to spread this out. And then we're going to add some smoked salmon. And you know what? If you have also some gravlax, which is a different kind of salmon, it's kind of the Norwegian style, actually, the way they cure it. I also like to use that in my cooking as well. So we're going to put that to the side. I'm going to add some salmon here. And guys, guess what? You get to try the appetizers after. I think we were doing some testing before, weren't we?
Deanie, I just have one question.
Yeah.
So what happens if you are on a gluten-free diet?
That's a great question.
And we've got these tortillas.
Yeah, you know what, Heather? That's a great question because there's a lot of people who have gluten issues. And so what I recommend, there's a lot of great options out there. I found one that I really like. It's called a teff tortilla by Tortilla Factory. I find that when you're using gluten-free products, you might want to warm them up on the stove a little bit to make them more pliable. So I just kind of put mine on the stove just to make it pliable. Or the other option for people who have a wheat intolerance versus a gluten intolerance, they might be okay with a sprouted tortilla or even a corn tortilla, which is totally gluten-free.
Oh, great.
That's a great option. So, you know, some people will do white tortillas or they'll do the spinach tortillas. They don't have any fiber. That's about 1 gram of fiber, and one of these is 4 grams of fiber. All we're going to do is we're just going to roll this up here. Very, very, very simple. And we're going to cut these edges off. And we're just going to cut them like this. So easy. You guys hungry? Okay, so I'm just going to put this here. There we go. By the way, guys, the leftovers are always good for the chefs, right? People are helping out in the kitchen because you don't want to put those ends on the plate. So there we go. Simple appetizer number 2. Okay. Last and not least, we're going to make a healthy black bean salsa. Very easy. So we've got some black beans. Black beans are very high in fiber. And most of us, you know, we're in our 40s, we're not getting enough fiber in our diet. We need about 25 to 35 grams of fiber, and 1 cup of black beans has it has 10 grams of fiber, which is about 1/3 of your daily allowance, which is amazing. So what we're going to do, we're going to put the black beans in here. Just make sure you rinse the black beans well. That's why some people complain if they have any gas problems. Just rinse them well. Also better if you buy the organic beans because they've been soaked with some seaweed, and that also helps as well. I've got some shallots here because I didn't have red onions. So again, guys, just be creative. You can use shallots, green onions, red onions. The key is you don't want to overpower it because you don't want your guests to go, I got that oniony flavor going on, right? We're just going to put a few of those in there. And the other thing is I love cilantro, and I know we all are big fans of it, but if it's not your thing and your guests don't like it, then just use some chopped parsley. And then I've got some peppers. You can use, again, any color. The key is you just want to play with the contrasting colors. So it could be orange, red, or yellow. I'm just going to put them in there. And I'm just going to add a little bit of olive oil and some limes. Again, I love these key limes. They're available in the supermarket. You can buy them in a bag. And if key limes are not available, then what you can do is use a lemon. And if you don't have lemons, then maybe have a little bit of white balsamic vinegar. And if you don't have that, use a little bit of your glaze, right? Just change up the flavor. So I know a lot of people are intimidated sometimes when they make recipes is that they don't have all the ingredients on hand. And the key, again, as I mentioned, is just to be creative, right? With what you have, and it'll become your own recipe. My favorite kind of salt that I'm going to put in here is a sea salt. It's a Celtic sea salt loaded with minerals. You can see the color. It's not that pure white salt. It's got a little bit of a grayish tinge. Again, I love other Himalayan pink salts. You can just play around with your different salts. It's going to change the flavor of your dish. And when you're using a salt like this, you actually need less than most other salts. And then this is a pepper. I was in California a couple months ago and I bought this flower pepper from South Africa. It's got a nice little smell to it. I love it. But you just use just regular ground pepper. We'll just put a little bit in there. And that's it. Appetizer is done. So I'm just going to mix that up. Can you see that, guys? Going to mix that up. And again, you can take this basic recipe, and if you want to serve this, you can serve this as a salad over lettuce. You can add some feta cheese or some goat cheese recipe and turn it into a healthy salad for lunch. Right? Just all some healthy ideas. Again, you can see, guys, what we're doing here is we're just playing around with the different contrasting colors and plates, and you take something very simple and you bump it up a notch. There you go. That's done. So there you go, guys. There's your healthy appetizer number 3. So I hope I've inspired you. Please go and enjoy, and I hope you can whip up these recipes in no time at all.
Well, thanks, Deanie. That was great. As you said, it is low maintenance is for rookies, and that's what I'm all about.
I'm about that too, huh?
And I can't wait to serve some of these appetizers when I'm entertaining anyway. So thank you so much. And what we will be doing is posting this video on our site and giving the great recipes so that people can take a look at it. And just for you, those of you who don't have it, our website address is www.fortylicious.ca.
Great, thank you for that, Heather. And they'll also be available on my website, which is www.hp4l.com. Thanks so much, Heather.